In this video, we're going to take a look at the deferred acceptance algorithm and try to figure out what's going on there and how that helps us solve the stable marriage problem. So the deferred acceptance algorithm is written precisely in your book in pseudocode. You should glance at that. I haven't included it here because we're just kind of trying to dip our toe in the water of what discrete math is. And the precise version is kind of a lot to take in. So I have a version here that's maybe a little bit more palatable. So we're going to start with all of the men and all of the women, everyone we're pairing up, I think I refer to it as N men and N women, so maybe I should include that there. They're going to rank their preferences without ties. And remember, the idea of the stable marriage problem is that there's a matchmaker who gets the final say. That's still what's happening, but the way that we're going to think through this algorithm is with women playing the role of giving proposals and men playing the role of accepting proposals. So this is something that if the matchmaker wanted to set up stable marriages, they could think through that scenario. They could think through the scenario of, okay, well, I'm going to have this person propose to this person. You get it. Okay. All right, so after everyone ranks their preferences, on day one, every single one of the N women are going to propose to their number one choices. Okay. So some men are going to get multiple proposals. Some aren't going to get any proposals. But every single woman is going to propose to her number one choice on the first day. So for those men who get multiple proposals, they're going to reject everyone except for their most preferred person. Right? So the matchmaker has this list, right, of the people that the men prefers, completely ranked without any ties. So they're going to have that man reject all but their most preferred proposal. And then at the end of day one, he and his most preferred proposal are going to be considered tentatively engaged. Okay. So every woman proposes, men accept their favorite proposal, and then he and that woman are tentatively engaged. But then the next day, we have a bunch of scorned women, right? All of those women whose proposals were rejected are going to propose to their number two choice. And they're going to do that regardless of whether or not they're free. So maybe their number two choice already accepted a proposal on day one. They're going to propose to him anyway. Okay. Because on day two, when these men, some of the men receive new proposals, they're allowed to trade up. So they can break off the previous day's tentative engagement. That's why it's important that it's tentative. And accept the proposal of someone who he prefers more. So day two, all of the women who were rejected on day one propose to their number two choice, regardless of whether that number two choice is free. Then the men get to decide whether they want to keep the previous day's tentative engagement or whether they like the person who proposed to them on day two more. So whoever he wants to accept, they are considered tentatively engaged on day two. And you keep playing this game for however many days you need to do it. On day three, there are going to be more rejected women. This sounds so sad. Day three, there are going to be more women whose proposals were rejected. Maybe women who on day two weren't rejected have now been rejected, right? Because the men received a better offer on day two. So whichever women are rejected on day three, they propose to their next choice, and you go on and on. The algorithm stops when everyone is engaged, and the claim is that this is going to result in only stable marriages. It's not clear why it would. We're going to talk about why it would, why it's guaranteed that this is going to result in only stable marriages. But first, we're going to do some examples to try to get a grip of what's going on in this algorithm, because it's easier to see once you get your hands on it a little bit. And it's also easier to see why the result is going to be only stable marriages once we've done a couple examples. So that's what we'll do in the next video.